waiting for everyone to come in. So welcome Kesha, welcome Rajesh, welcome Jasir, welcome Binish, welcome Shemi, welcome Martin, welcome Muhammad, welcome Ali. Hi, welcome Riaz. Very happy to see you here. We have an influencer in the house. Welcome Sana, welcome Prashad, welcome Ahmed, welcome Nivaz, welcome Mujib. Hi Komal, welcome Komal. Happy to see you here. Welcome Marinko. Hi Dr. Snehal, welcome. Hi Rinzin, welcome Prateep. If you can hear my voice, I would like to have a thumbs up. Hi, welcome Abdul and uh, whoever would like to speak can raise their hand. We'll have the panelist initially speaking, and after that, you'll be speaking in. So I just bring them up once the panelist comes in. Today, our moderator is Jyotika. So once Jyotika starts speaking, I'll bring up. So whoever wants to speak, just raise your hands. Welcome Platin, welcome Nasser, welcome Adil, welcome Shinka. And I'm going to, like, I hope you all know this is a journey of 100 days to make you a better entrepreneur. So, for those who don't know me, I'm a dreamer, I'm an entrepreneur who has now started being a coach and making others dream. I weave dreams for others and make them succeed in it. So, the podcast is full for you to hear, and this is a 100-day series where we are covering a lot on diverse topics mainly. So we have our moderator today, Jyotika Shetty, who is a communication coach, and the stage is yours, Jyotika.
Thank you very much, Kabir, and a warm welcome to everyone present here today. An enthusiastic team of members in the panel as well as the listeners. A warm welcome. Any
Hello
session
everyone.
that, a warm welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, right. Martin, Riaz, Dr. Snehal, a warm welcome to the panel. So this is a 100 hours, 100 days journey, like Kabir has mentioned, who is the main host. He is a dreamer and he has dreamt of the next 100 days to add value to all our entrepreneurs. Yesterday was the first session that we had, and it was on personal branding on LinkedIn. And today we are here with yet another different concept, different subject, pitch perfect. Crafting your compelling elevator pitch. I'm sure all of you must have, at one point in your time, got into this environment or in this situation where you had to introduce yourself to someone in a very short period of time. That could be probably an interview, it could be some kind of a pitch that you were doing, or to your future, or to your girlfriend or a boyfriend, right? That could be a situation. Well, it's a joke. The last one is a joke. Don't take it literally. I'm just trying my hands on the jokes, but they usually fall flat. But I think we all have this, um, this aspiration to make a good impression when we meet someone, right? But just look at it in the business world. Imagine you are wanting to meet someone for a long time. You don't get an appointment to meet that person, but one day you're in the lift and that person walks into the lift. You have to create that impression or speak to that person and introduce yourself in just 30 seconds, because that's the time that you have to get down to the ground floor. So, what would you say in the 30 seconds that you have on your hand? That is called as the elevator pitch. So, elevator pitch is nothing but a concise and a persuasive summary of an idea, product, or a service, or yourself for that matter. It typically takes around 30 seconds. So, in that particular time or in that short time, you must be able to introduce yourself. I'm sure we have heard this concept before. It might not be new to people in the business world, but yet let's look at what are the technicalities. Now, how we're going to do this is we have a panel of speakers who are already experienced in pitching. So they'll give a practical aspect of what is good in pitching, how a good pitch looks like, and how can we improve, or what has been their experience. And as a communication coach, I'll add my 2 cents on what makes a good pitch, how you can craft a good speech, and I'll also give you an example, my personal example, of how a good pitch could be. Now, there is nothing called as perfect per se. I know today we call it as a pitch perfect, but perfect is your perception of what good is. We can call it as an effective pitch. So, how effective you are in putting yourself across is what we are aiming to achieve. So, let's first understand what is the context an elevator pitch is used. Like I mentioned, it usually is, when you want to introduce yourself, or when you are making a pitch to your investors. But usually it is used in a professional context, such as a job interview, networking events, business presentations, or even if you're seeking a funding for your startup. A well crafted speech or a pitch should convey the most important and compelling aspects of the subject matter. So it could be a product, it could be your service. You must ensure that emphasis is on the value or the uniqueness, leaving the listener intrigued, because that 30 seconds is just your opportunity to make that impression. But you must leave the listener wanting more, to give you an opportunity to come back and speak more. So you must be clear, concise, and engaging, highlighting key points in a memorable way. Now let's look at how this is done, and I'm sure you're all with me to move forward in this engaging next 1 hour that we're going to have. So today we have with us a panel of speakers. Let me introduce to you our first speaker. Our first speaker is a very enthusiastic business person. He's based in Dubai, and he is a person who has got a lot of laurels. Lawrence, not only in the business angle but academically. He comes from one of the prestigious institutes called as IIT Bombay. He holds a master's degree in design from IIT Bombay. He's an experienced digital product designer, specialized in creating digital solutions with human-centric design principles. He's an accomplished individual, founder of Dubai-based startup called as Yellow Zap. You can go into his website and check out what they do. It's called as Yellow Zap. His mission in Yellow Zap is to make technology accessible to the undeserved strata of the workforce in the community. They provide accessible and empowering technologies for local service professionals to deliver excellence in their home service business. So if you're looking for this particular service, please feel free to go and see his website and get in touch with him for further discussion. Their solutions are to bridge the huge gap for the workforce in the sector, and hence specifically designed for non-tech savvy local service professionals, and to enable them to embark on service entrepreneurial journey rather than being a fixed salaried employee. Right? For more, we will talk to him, but he has worked with Carrefour, Cisco, Axilia, Verizon in different geographical locations. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and help me welcome our speaker in the panel today, Hashim Bashir from Yellow Zap.
Hi everyone. Hi.
Warm
Thanks.
welcome, Hashim.
Warm welcome, Jyotika. That was elaborate. Thank you. Thanks a lot, and for posting this thing. Yeah, I'll wait to for you to introduce others, and then I'll go ahead.
Yes. We also have Kabir. Kabir is a dreamer, like he said. He claimed he is a dreamer, and I have seen he's not only a dreamer, but also someone who executes it very well. He's a person who's done several businesses. One of his recent business or businesses that have really done well is Farm Chimp, and he will talk about it more as we go along. But Kabir is someone I have known for some time. We've been together in the public speaking domain as well. So together with a dreamer, he's going to add value on how you can make your perfect pitch. We also have Martin Sohns, who is founder audiologist, and he's been here adding value to our previous sessions as well. So, warm welcome, Martin. Happy to have you here. We also have Dr. Snehal Yadri, who's a wellness coach. And I've known Snehal again in the public speaking domain, a fantastic person, a fantastic human being. She's also excellent as a habit formation coach who does a very good job. So, just in case you have issues with regards to your habit, she's the person to go to. So let's get started. So let me just give you some ground rules before I start off so that it becomes easier for us to move this, take the session along. So I first request everyone, all the people in the audience, whether you would like to speak. If you do, please raise your hand so I can take you to the speaking panel. I'll just give you 5 seconds to do that. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak?
Hi, Jyotika. Can I welcome someone?
Yes, please.
We have Balaji, there in the guest. If Balaji could come up, it's more of us. For us, it will be a lot of learning.
All right, Balaji, would you like to come up? Please raise your hand.
And welcome, Miss Kim. Miss Kim, we have been in a lot of groups, and all other friend Kim. If you're coming in, it'll add value to this session. And Davis, who is an entrepreneur. Naveen, welcome Naveen. Welcome Hiral. So
So
we
we
have
have warm
Ba-
welcome Naveen, Hiral, Sharito, Muhammad, Komal, Miss Kim, warm welcome, Abdul, Srinivas, Sibi, Aniket, Ranjani, warm welcome to all of you. Rajesh, a warm welcome, Simi, Jasir. All right. So did we,
um,
is Balaji here or he's still
Balaji is
not?
there, but I'm trying to accept. Yeah,
Are you able to hear?
yes, Balaji.
Yes,
Thank you.
Balaji. We can hear
Yeah,
you now.
hi.
Warm welcome, Balaji.
Thank you. Good to be here and good to be listening to all the experts today.
Balaji
It's
is again,
amazing.
yes, just to give you a brief introduction of Balaji, Balaji is an ex banker and an accomplished speaker. He's been a distinguished Toastmaster for over 25 years, and he's an encyclopedia of, I think, in that domain, he's an encyclopedia. Currently, he's a Group Chief Administrative Officer at TriStar Group UAE, who are logistic managers, and he will talk about the business a little more in detail a little later. Davis Anto, would you like to introduce yourself? Davis, are you there? All right, we'll give him the opportunity to speak a little later. Now, let's just get into the details of what an elevator pitch is. Are you ready? Hashim, my first question is to you. Now, you've
Yeah.
been in the pitch in the business industry, in the business sector, doing business for quite some time, and you have considerable experience in pitching as well. So,
Right.
I would like to ask you, what do you believe is the most crucial element of a successful elevator pitch?
So essentially, Jyotika, thanks for asking that most crucial question. So the most important thing is to keep revising your pitch, the ability or your adaptability to keep revising your pitch. And I would say that should be based out of many aspects, right? So I can only say from my experience, and I'm so sure it will be different for different people, and it has to be with a personal and subjective nature when it comes to the elevator pitch. So we need to answer 4 5 questions after each pitch, right? Why are we doing that? Who are we doing that? How we are doing that? When are we doing that? All these are questions which we need to ask whenever we do an elevator pitch. Like what you said, like although it is considered as when you meet somebody in the elevator and you say that within that uh, stop comes or your flow comes, but elevator pitch are termed and then we have dices where you go and present the elevator pitch, right? So first question is, why are you doing that? it depends on whom we are meeting and whom we are pitching to, right? So sometimes it is for, let's say in a startup world, it can be for investment, it can be for partnership, it can be for a client, it can be for a customer, or attracting somebody who you want to come, right? It, based on all these things, your elevator pitch has to be different. The angle in which you have to express that thing, it has to be different. Second, where are you doing that? If you are in a dice where there is a lot of audience in front of you, then the tone you have to use or the way you have to present should be different from a personal one-on-one conversation, right? And then comes to all of this, what are you going to say? So depending on this thing, where should you emphasize? Whether you should emphasize on the like if you want to attract a co-founder, or if you want to attract an employee to join you, then it should be about the culture, it should be about the growth possibility over the. But if you're attracting the an investor, then it should be about the market size and how we will be a successful thing and how his part will be a journey together, right? So it depends on what we are saying, based on whom we are talking to, when we are saying everything, and based on that we have to keep revising this thing. So there is no, like what you said in the beginning, there is no perfect pitch, but it is always a journey towards being perfect. So you keep revising, and then keep improvising. That is the most important aspect I would consider in this elevator pitch.
Very well said, Hashim. And I totally agree. Even in the communication angle, when you say practice, practice makes perfect, and you get better when you practice. That's the most key word, I think, what you've mentioned today. And knowing, obviously, authenticity is something that is very important in the conversations that we have. It has to be tailor made, absolutely. And the most important thing is know your why. Most of them get a little lost or disoriented with the entire journey when they are lost finding their why. So I think first, when we know that why is clear, your pitch becomes much more clear, isn't it? So thank you
Correct.
very much. Thank you
Yeah.
very much for adding value there. So before I move to the next question, I would ask you to give me a small situation where you had to give a elevator pitch, and that really worked for you.
Correct. So it depends also. Like I said, it depends on why and how and who and all these questions to you, right? So one of the time which clearly worked for me, when I was talking to a person who is equally inclined for the cause of what I am doing. Our Yellows app, actually, we are providing solutions, technology for a large sector of the workforce who are heavily underserved with technology. So we believe that all the softwares which you are accessing in office, like your productivity softwares, including Excel and let's say Tally or any Zoho application, anything, it is all for an office going strata. But there is a large workforce who are in the fields working, blue collars, drivers, a lot more field, who are starving, and they're actually facing a starvation of technology over there. Obviously internet is accessible, they have phone and all, but none of the softwares are designed for them. And it is all designed by a sector uh, who have not really thought through them, right? So that is our cause why we are doing that. So we want to give this accessibility and empower the people over there. And we believe if we tackle that uh, their ability, there is a, the world can change really, right? We have seen it, how social media changed people. So same way, we believe more technology access in productivity will also change the world. So this is our social cause. So when we were I was talking to somebody who believes in this particular cause, and I could just say it within 30 seconds, saying that we believe there is a large sector of people who are underserved with technology, who are highly talented, so much potential to unlock. And what we are trying to do is just giving more and more empowering softwares. Imagine the potential they can bring on their own if they are all entrepreneurs and not mere salaried person. That just clicked because he could dream beyond it. I didn't have to tell all the details of my startup and how we started, what we are, who we are, and all. It is about making the other person start to dream along with you. And I would have to add that it wouldn't work with everyone. It will depend on from people to people, right? So you have to keep on practicing again and then make it more fluid and adapt it to people whom you are talking to. So this time it worked with that particular person. He clearly liked it because I know that he also works in a particular cause, and then we could have a very good synergy.
Okay, right. That's very nice. And you highlighted an important thing, which I think which is often ignored or rather overlooked, is the ability to make your target audience dream. That
Correct.
is something we miss. And
Yes.
yes, it's about the product we have, yes, it's about the content we have, but if you're not able to show them what they can achieve by having your product or service, what will it make them achieve? I think that kind of creates a little bit of ineffectiveness in the
Correct,
entire
Jyotika.
process. Yeah.
I just want to add one more thing actually. When you say about elevator pitch, it need not be. I really think we have to consider it as the uh, smallest window available to talk to your audience, and the audience can be different. So that is how I will tell.
Right.
So it can be an ad also. It can be an everything. Everything has to be considered into that window.
Right. So knowing your audience is very important then, Hashim, right?
100%.
Right. So that is one aspect which. So let me just remind the audience that this might be a little technical here as far as communication is concerned. So I highly recommend that if possible, please take some notes that will help you in the future in case if you have to take the elevator pitch, you make use of the elevator pitch. All right, Hashim, back to you. Sorry, I had to just. So knowing your target audience is very important, right? Now, how do you identify your target audience for an
So
elevator
you
pitch?
Correct, obviously. So elevator pitch is never an elevator pitch because, if you just consider you're talking to a random person, it doesn't work like that, right? You need to know who it is. Like you actually have to prepare yourself, study the background, and then talk to them. If you're randomly seeing somebody and then talking to them, it wouldn't work. They might not. The topic which you are going to say might not be of their interest, or it also depends on they might be in some certain other schedule and the timing would be wrong, right? So, sorry, Jyotika, can you repeat that particular topic? What you asked?
Target audience, knowing your target audience, how important it is to understand your target audience while creating your elevator pitch.
Correct. So it is all about resonating, and it's all about making them dream along. So here, what is our intention over here? Our intention is not to make sure that they understand everything what we do, right? Our intention is to create that excitement, create that journey into the dream of what we are doing, and then make a feeling to see that okay, I want to be part of that. It seems there is something which I don't want to miss out. So it clearly depends on target audience. If somebody is in another path and they are focused on that and they wouldn't want to come off it, no matter how much hard you try, no matter how much perfect your pitch is, it is not going to work, right? So
Yes.
it has to be something by understanding other person. It has to be something which is fitting the other person, and it can be interest, it can be collaboration, it can be participation, a lot of things, but it has to be something which resonates with the audience. It has to be.
I think that's the most important thing, right? Understanding your target audience. Because if
Correct.
you're trying to, your elevator pitch is not a pitch if you miss the point, and not understanding who your audience is completely, takes the whole point away of creating this elevator pitch, right?
And
So
Jyotika,
thank you.
and then you
Yeah.
come back and then you revise it, and if you go back and talk to another audience with the previous audience in your mind, again it's going to screw up, right? So that's what I was
Right.
saying. So it has
Right.
to be based on that audience.
Right. So that also brings that important point of having an agile elevator pitch, making it much more dynamic, isn't it?
Correct.
One size fits all doesn't work for everyone. You'll have to know who the audience is and tailor make it accordingly. Right, Hashim?
100%. That's the point. That's the
Right.
point. And you have to be. It has to come within. It's not something which we by heart or. It has to be engraved in you so that you have all these different versions within you, which you
Right.
can talk out with confidence, right? Yeah.
Right. Thank you, Hashim, for that wonderful input on how we can have create good elevator pitches. Now let me move to Martin. Martin, warm welcome once again.
Hello, thank you for that.
And we're really happy to see you again here. We had you yesterday as well, or for the last session that we had, right?
Yes.
Now, yes, Martin.
Yeah, on pitching, what you're trying to achieve with the pitch is to create interest. So no matter how long the pitch is, I've been pitching even 10 seconds pitches, but that's too short. Elevator pitch is 30 seconds. You can have 1 minute pitch, you can have 2 minutes pitch, but a really good pitch, you really need 15 minutes, I think, to really get into your idea. But it's very good training to try and put all of your essential information into these time frames, so you really gain a lot on that, I think.
Yes, I like this quote. I mean, quoting what you just mentioned, I like this quote which I just read from Albert Einstein. He says, if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand.
Yeah, that's a great quote, actually. I'm very into quotes myself, and I came over this great quote one day, and this is about rethinking things, and it's from Oren Harari. He was a former professor at the University of California, and he said the electric light did not come from the continuous improvement of candles. I think that's really great. Sometimes you have to really rethink things.
Absolutely, Martin. We have to. Thinking is crucial. Sometimes we go emotional. I think we become very emotional when creating an elevator pitch. Authenticity has to be clearly differentiated from being emotional, and knowing your strategy together with the connectivity. I think sometimes that creates clarity as well. So thank you for your input, Martin. Let's now, as I explained earlier, I mentioned that we'll also look at the technical aspect, that is the business front of elevator pitch, as well as the communication aspect, because this area that we're talking today is the communication aspect of how we can create effective elevator pitch. So Snehal, I'll just get back to you. I know you're the next speaker. I'll just get back to you. But before that, I'd like to bring in Balaji. Balaji, are you there?
Yes, Jyotika.
Yeah. So you have a considerable experience in communications and public speaking. What now? Whatever we say, like whether it's a small table topic that we do, whether we do an elevator pitch, at the end of the day, it's a small speech that you're giving. You're pitching yourself, right? So what, according to you, are those elements that go into an effective elevator pitch on the communication angle of it?
Are you able to hear?
Yes, please go ahead.
I've always felt that there are two sides to the coin. One is preparing for it, and another is not being prepared and just go with the pitch. Now, there are many occasions, and I think most of the occasions in life are where we need to do this elevator pitch without preparation, because you're just on the street somewhere and you meet someone and you get into a conversation, and eventually you'll have to suddenly speak about it. Now, how do you prepare for such things? As long as you are prepared about what you want to communicate to people around the world about what you want them to believe in. For example, you have your own business and you want to talk about your business. If you are very well versed about your business and what you offer, I don't think the elevator pitch would be difficult. Elevator pitch becomes difficult when you'll have to strike a conversation when somebody is not attentive or when somebody doesn't want to give you time, that is the time when you'll have to strike a conversation which probably will get you two together, maybe a story, maybe an incident discussion, and then slowly get into a cup of coffee and then start on the subject. So, for all purposes, I think understanding the audience, knowing the subject, and putting on things which you want to put across so that they understand you better is what comprises an elevator speech.
Yes, Balaji, totally agree. And I think, in a nutshell, if I have to say, internalizing what you're doing. Many of us are connected with our business, yet I think we're not connected in a very emotional manner. Emotional, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about the emotions as in sad or angry, but if you're not connected well with your business internally, it becomes very difficult to authentically put out your elevator pitch. Therefore, like Balaji said, it is a storytelling technique in a very short time. Martin here mentioned that an elevator pitch could be for 30 seconds, 3 minutes, 2 minutes. It depends on how high the building is, right? So whatever it is, at the end of the day, it is very important to believe in what you're saying. So internalize your product, internalize your company, internalize your mission, internalize your service. And I think that is what brings out the authenticity and your effective elevator pitch. So thank you, Balaji. I'll get back to you while we go to Snehal here. Snehal is the next speaker. Warm welcome, Snehal.
Thank you, Jyotika.
Now you're a wellness coach, a habit formation coach, and it's not a product, it's not a tangible product in that sense that you can go and explain to people, right? So you again have to tell clients what you do and how effective it is for them. So what is your experience in this particular area of pitching?
I agree with you, Jyotika. In fact, I think most of us would relate in a service-based profession. It often becomes very difficult to explain to somebody what exactly you're doing, and in a span of 30 seconds, it's even harder. And what I struggled with initially was, like you and Hashim both mentioned, internalizing what you do to the extent that it becomes easy to talk about it. So, what I have realized over time is when I know what how I affect the people that I'm working with, how my services can benefit them, that actually makes it easier for me to talk about it. So if someone asks me today, what is it that you do? I would start with saying, like, I know people struggle with building habits, and that is why I provide actionable strategies and unwavering support to unlock people's full potential. So that often leads to more questions, and we get talking. So I think from what Martin said, where we generate interest, so to a large extent, that's what an elevator pitch gets us. You start talking about what you do, and that's how you build relations, whether in business or even go on to make a lot of friends. So that's my take on the elevator pitch.
So thank you, Snehal, and I think that clearly tells us that habit also includes practice. Practicing
Absolutely
this.
right.
We had Hashim
Absolutely
who first
right.
emphasized on the point that you have to practice communication. Communication is not something that an effective we are all communicators at the end of the day, whichever language we speak. We are all communicators, but how effective you are is the difference between a successful leader and just a leader. So like
Well
Hashim
said.
mentioned, like Hashim mentioned, I think we have to practice whatever we do, whether it's your profession, whether it's your speaking skill, whether it's your technique, whatever it is. So thank you, Snehal, for that. The next speaker we have is, if I'm not mistaken, it is Davis Anto. Davis, are you there?
Hi, good morning, everyone. I
Good
had
morning,
some
Davis.
problems with the
Yes,
tech.
I called you earlier. You weren't there responding. Well,
The
welcome to the panel.
Thank you.
So can you just quickly share your experience, if you had any experience in elevator pitch, and what according to you has been that differentiating factor between you and another business person?
Yeah, sure. So, first of all, welcome everyone, and thank you for having me. As a salesperson, something that I've been doing all my life. You have sales pitch, and you have to convince someone on what you want to make them understand or accept your business ideas. So as an entrepreneur, I have to build my case. I have to have this two things in mind that I always build on. One is a human connection, because if you're not connected with that person is not going to be attentive. And second thing is your passion. If you don't have the passion for it, whatever you say, it might not sound or resonate with the person. So we all have to practice these two things: is how to give a compliment to a person, how to build that connection to that person, and then after a few seconds, if you want to time it, no, I would say keep some time for complimenting and connecting to the person, and then bring on your business or your idea that you want to communicate. Otherwise, it's not easy to get the other person attentive and listening to you. So these are two things that I would always work on. And as a salesperson, I hear people trying their best to sell something, but it doesn't work because you're not connecting to the person. You need to first get that person attentive, and then talk about your business or your whatever you want to sell to.
Yes,
This is
thank
my
you.
experience. Yeah.
Thank you, Davis. That comes from your experience, and it's so rich because at the end of the day, in the practical world, these real experiences is what counts. And if I have to just summarize what you mentioned, is a simple idea of ask yourself, why should the client choose you over others? So
Exactly.
if you know that why, yes, if you know the why clearly, you will be able to put in an effective pitch. Let me take this opportunity to now welcome our listeners again who have just joined. We have Syed, Disha, Sudesh, Muhammad, Arati, Nisreen. A warm welcome. Apologies if I've missed anyone here. Warm welcome to all our listeners. Let me remind you, please feel free to connect with each other, because this is the platform to connect. And pitching is not necessarily going and speaking to someone by creating that perfect elevator pitch. Build connections first, and that's where you can start the journey of pitching a perfect or an effective pitch. We have, all right, now let's move on to Marinko Martinovic.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Marinko. I hope I have not spelt your name wrongly. Martinovic, right?
That's right. Don't worry.
Right.
Open
All right.
failure culture. Everything is fine.
All right. Marinko, could you please introduce yourself in just
Yeah.
10 seconds?
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much. Thank you for possibility to talk to you guys. It's a perfect format. So a short introduction from my side. Originally, I'm coming from Croatia and living now in Germany. My background is mechanical engineering, lightweight, and I have more than 20 years experience in various industrial sectors. So, and I have some feedback according to elevator pitches. I don't have my own business, but I can share my experience. One thing is, if you make a presentation, it's very simple. Keep it simple as possible. Less is more, sell that positive thing. And if you don't have all data, what you have to sell, either you don't put this there, or you put this on the last slides like that. Sell first positive things, and then you can sell the rest of your presentation. This is the one thing. Other thing from the elevator pitch, when we are talking about selling your own idea, team, a product, startup, we're talking mostly about presentation, PowerPoint. But what's about just idea? Elevator speech is, we're talking about 10 to 20 minutes, 50 minutes. And what's about first 2, 3, up to 5 minutes, a short introduction video or movie, like to hold the audience to your idea, to sell, make a strong short video as an introduction in your presentation. So this is the other thing. The other point, when you're selling your idea to an audience, it's very important to know what's the background of the audience. It's engineering, it's a management, it's an investor, and so on. What gives sales, business angels, and so on. And two tips from my side. One is also when your presentation you're presenting by your own. You're alone and stand there. It's a better way. Maybe you have two people in the front, and so you can share. 10 minutes is talking one guy, and 10 minutes the other guy. So you share this selling story and so on. And at the last point from my side, you have good products, good presentation, and not that good. So we call bad. But we have also good presentators, good speakers, and not that good. And this is very important. Who is talking about what, how to sell something, and because end of the day, if you're good, you have good product and you're a good speaker, you will have access. But the challenge is if you are not that sure, you don't have this experience to talk about, for the audience. You have to use a lot of experience. You can visit similar meetings and like that, to visit and to hear this audio format, to summarize your experience, to share knowledge. Networking is very important, and go for it. Go find your wings. Thanks.
Thank you for those tips, Marinko. And I totally resonate when you say that you have to know what you're doing. I think your elevator pitch becomes much more confident at that time. If you do not know, please go and create that knowledge, create that experience. And when you do what you are good at, your confidence goes to the next level. So that's one important point. Let's now move on to, yes.
Just can I add to all these points, because it's coming one thing. I just thought of.
Yes, Harsh. Yes, Harsh. Please do.
So, although we are all saying the same thing, we need to know ourselves and what we are talking. It has to be engraved within us. We need to know the audience, but it is very, very difficult because we tend to get, because we come from that, right? Because it's so inside us. We have so much to explain. To make it very simple is the most difficult thing in entrepreneur's journey. I just wanted to add that, seems like it's very easy, but it is not easy to get into that short communication and express that thing.
Yeah. Sorry, I can add a point. You are right, Hajim. This is what you think also before you make a presentation. Just as an example, how can you explain in one sentence your idea, your selling story, your product in one sentence? This is a challenge, but this is, you have to go through that. But this is just the first step. Let me know the next step. Then the next step is a challenging more. You have to go and find in a short 1-2 words, what is the key of you, what you want to sell, what is the purpose for your customer, why they want to buy it from your site, what is the benefit, what is the adding value, and so on. And the third level, only in one word. This is a very hard thing. This is really, just imagine. But sorry for interruption. But my experience from my business, what I'm working in last time, go back to yourself and say, which word, what is the slogan, what is the stuff I'm standing for it, And for me, for example, what is my superpower? I get some question on other audio event, and my superpower is, for example, to be free. If you are free, you can do everything what you do. You have open mind. You're not blocked. You're not negative energy and so on. But to get the freedom is something you have to fight for. That you don't get this for free. This is the issue.
Yes. So for that we need to unlearn and then learn and look into ourselves from outside and all to make it more perfect. Anyway,
and
all right. Let's now, because
to think out of the box.
Thank you very much. We have other speakers as well that we can definitely take this conversation and discussion outside this meeting room. Now let me move on to, we have Charito here. Charito Yamar. Charito, are you there? Right, I don't know.
Hello.
Charito, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. Welcome to the panel. Can you quickly introduce yourself in 10 seconds, please?
Yeah, sure. I am Charito Yamar from the Philippines. Yeah, hey. They're far away. Okay. The reason why I came in because when I listen to everybody, they're so really good, no? But in my experience, by the way, I'm a real estate broker, appraiser, and consultant. I started 1995, and I have a different approach in talking to an audience. You see, before, because we are into real estate, we have these mass presentations to different offices. So usually we group around 50, 40 people to listen to us. So what I did since 1995 up to 2010, because I found that it was very effective, was to start with, or shall I call it elevator pitch. I started with a joke or humor. I always infuse humor before I start with the serious business. You see, when you are talking to 50 or 100 people, how would you like them to divert their attention to you at the stage? So what I did was I tried to study around. There's something I could pick up which I could make into a joke. I would, but never did I make a joke about people. It's more on a little of the product or the surroundings.
Yes.
Many things. There are jokes that I used to read and I studied about it and I tried to infuse it to that speech that I'm going to say. Actually, it's not more on speech. It's more on it's selling because we're selling vertical and horizontal development. So you see, in my experience from 1995 to 2010, when you use humor at first, people who are outside the door would come in, especially when your joke delivered. Like everybody laughed, everybody goofed out, and so people became interested. They came in. So they said, "Oh, what is this group talking about? Oh, maybe there is something there more very good for them, or very effective, or very they can use, or there's something serious which is not really so serious." But
Yes.
actually, because we were selling properties like houses, because we were in real estate, we already gave them before the mass presentation began. We
Right.
usually distributed flyers and all those things so they can see. So when I came up the stage, I used humor to inject so everybody will be riveted and they will sit on their on their
Well,
chairs and they will listen to the next topic. That's it.
thank you, Charito. You've highlighted such a beautiful point that humor is that one glue that binds everyone together. And I think
Yes.
it really breaks all the ice. And we have to try to use humor as much as possible, especially in a world when people are frowning or sad or stressed. I think humor can break all those inhibitions and give you that impetus to really cross that bridge and go to the other side and shake hands with the client that you really want. Thank you very much for bringing that important point, Sharito. Now we
Thank
have,
you too.
you're welcome. Let's move on to Abin. Abin is, hi Abin, warm welcome. Abin, could you unmute yourself, please? Okay, we've just lost Abin. We'll get back to him when he rejoins. We have Jasir here. Jasir, warm welcome, Jasir. Jasir, we've lost him too. Is there something wrong with LinkedIn? Why are we losing all the speakers? All right. Now, okay, Abin's back and Gaurav's back as well. Now, what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to do a small practical demonstration of how a pitch is done. Now, you can have your own pitch. We're just going to give you few tips on what are the things you have to consider when looking at. Okay, Abin is back. Let me introduce Abin. Abin is a fitness trainer. Now, let me tell all of you that he is Mr. Kerala. He's a celebrity amongst us. He's Mr. Kerala. When he was Mr. Kerala when he
When
was
I was in
17 years
17
old.
years old, yes.
17 years old, and he's a brilliant fitness trainer. So if you have any fitness goals, please do feel free to call him and get in touch with him. He is definitely a model to emulate. Warm welcome, Ebin.
Thank you very much, Jyotika.
Do you have anything to say or ask?
Yeah, because small questions. I meet a lot of people in my day by day routines, and I would like to help them, and I want to be able to pitch my services and benefits to them quickly because all are living in different type of conditions. So my quick question is, how can I effectively convey the value proposition of my startup in a short pitch?
All right, that's a very good question, and that leads me to the next thing that I'm going to do. I'll just give you a few sorry, excuse me, ideas on what you must consider when you look at a pitch, and then probably you can take those tips and actually implement it or write a small script for yourself. You can always contact me so I can work it through and help you clarify it or even filter it more. So a few things that you have to understand is, first of all, define your objective. Why are you pitching? Right? Are you pitching to let them know about your services? You want investors to invest in your gym or in your business? What is the purpose of your pitch? So have clarity of your objective. All right, that's the first thing that you have to consider. You also have to know your audience, because with this, when you define your objective, you'll also know who your audience are. Are these people, are these the members who are going to join your gym or your fitness training? Are these people who are going to listen to you for a while and who's going to say that, yes, we're interested in joining hands with you and setting up something? So consider their needs, interest, and background. And you have to tailor make your pitch to them. So do not have one size fits all, because what might fit your members or your gym members may not sit well with the investors. So you'll have to actually think, what is that I want to tell them, right? Keep it as concise as possible. Now, we spoke about 30 seconds elevator pitch, and you had other speakers speaking about 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and even 15 minutes. But ideally, an elevator pitch is usually for 30 seconds to 2 minutes. And then you can call them, you can ask them for a time to sit with them and go in detail. So your pitch has to lead to the next point of them telling you, intriguing them, and then giving you the opportunity to come to their office or come to wherever they are, and giving you opportunity to actually lay down your plan and your proposal. All right, it has to be intriguing. Start with a hook. That is very important. How will you grab their interest? Tell them something that is alarming or something that really is of interest to them, right? And explain what you do. Because explaining what you do, many of them miss their point. They talk about everything around their world, but they miss to tell what they do. So be very clear and succinct in describing your product or service. Focus on the key benefits. Because one of our speakers said, please mention the benefits more than the pain. I mean, I would say that both pain points and the benefits are important. So put them both together. Now, you may feel that there's a lot to say, but I'll show you an example towards the end of this session of how a good pitch can be done. Obviously, I don't say it's the best pitch, but you can always improvise it. All right. So highlight the problem. There has to be a problem point. The pain point is very important. And what solution can you give them? Towards the end, there has to be a call to action. So if you're explaining all of this and not telling them what you want out of this elevator pitch, so tell them, do you want to meet them? Do you want to call them? Do you want their card? Whatever it is, leave them with that call to action, and tell them that you would love to do that. All right. So these are just to recap quickly. It might be a little detailed. Define your objective. Know your audience. Keep it short and simple. Start with a hook, and hook has to be intriguing. It has to be catchy. Explain what you do. Highlight the problem and offer your solution. These are key things that you can think of and put your elevator pitch together. And hopefully my last elevator pitch will help you understand how to make a fairly decent one. Does that answer your question, Abin? Abin, are you there? All right. So I think it must have helped him. To the audience, can I ask you to give a thumbs up if it was good, or a thumbs down if it was not good? Because I don't expect you to say, yes, it was good to everything I say. So you can give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, perfectly all right. All right, there's a clap, there's a thumbs up. Great. So all of you are enjoying, I'm sure. Don't forget to like each other, because that's the main thing that you have to do here. Interact, collaborate, communicate. That is important. Lovely, lovely. We have a last speaker, Gaurav. Gaurav, are you there? A warm welcome to the panel, Gaurav.
Hi, hello everyone.
Could you add
And
your 2 cents in the shortest possible way? This is your probably an elevator pitch, so I give you another 30 seconds to put your point across.
sure, myself Gaurav Pandey. I am a leadership coach. I am just 28 with a decade of experience into sales and marketing. And I love to meet people, greet people, help them out so that they can be the best version in their lives. That's all.
Fantastic. Let's give him a huge round of applause. That is an elevator pitch. So you could work on that, Gaurav. Probably I could give you a little bit of feedback outside this session room, and
Correct.
definitely it's going to help you. It probably
Great.
sounds like an unwarranted advice or a suggestion, all right? So you take it in good
No,
sense.
it's not like that. Not at all, Jyotika. I am always ready to seek in information, observe. I am actually thinking always to go ahead and gather knowledge from you people. My God, I must tell you, like 20 years of experience, and that is actually I'm able to hear those in your words. The way you are articulating your words. Trust me, it is just impeccable. It is immense good. I'm learning a lot. I'm to be honest, I'm actually creating a notes which I don't know certain points, and the way you given the answer to Abin, it was just amazing. I'm actually introducing and infusing those things into my elevator speech, which will definitely help me to go ahead and become the best version of myself when I am in front of the people. So thank you
Fantastic.
so
And
much.
yes, I have no doubt you'll be one of the best leadership coaches. Wish you all the best in your journey and in whatever you do, Gaurav. Wish you all the
Thank
best.
you.
So
Thanks a
we're
lot.
thanking all the panelists because I have a small a demonstration that I have to do before we leave, so that our audience gets value out of the entire session, to put the entire thing together and tie it down to how an actual elevator pitch looks like. Now, if it's not good, please do not criticize, as this is a part of the game and we improve on the go. All right. So are we ready for this? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready for this. All right, great, great, great. So thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank all of them who have given you valuable experience, valuable input. The tips that you've given have definitely added value to our audience and to me especially. So here's a classic example of what a pitch is. I wouldn't say a classic example, my version of what a pitch is. I can work on it for sure as I have more time to work on my pitch. So hi there, my name is Jyotika Shetty and I'm a communication coach. I help business managers to become effective communicators and scale their growth. In this digital era, effective communication is your secret weapon, and without it, you risk missing opportunities and connection with client. I have seen multiple businesses getting affected just because the business owners were not able to communicate effectively. With my evidence-based coaching system, they have not only seen growth in their business, but have gone to becoming thought leaders with their experience. I'm sure it will be of help to you and will help you grow. Would you be open to meeting for a detailed discussion? I would be keen to show you how I can help you grow. Thank you very much and goodbye. Thank you for your participation, and I hope all of this has helped you create your own elevator pitch. As you know, we are work in progress. We are never perfect, and we only get better by practicing, learning, and listening. Thank you very much. It's 12:29. It's time for me to close the session. If anyone wants to give their last bit of, or let me ask Hashim to give me your parting thoughts, and then we'll go to Kabir to give a parting thought on this particular session. Yes, Hashim, it's to you.
It is just wonderful, actually, and the whole idea of the session itself is to see various angles from different people, different perspective, experiences, and all. And we just have to be more and more take part from whatever works for us, and then improvise on it. All the best for everyone. Thanks for listening to us and parting
Thank you,
your
Hashim.
valuable thoughts. Yeah.
Thank you, Hashim. We have Rajesh here. Rajesh, I'm so sorry you came towards the end. My due apologies. I didn't give you an opportunity to speak. Would you like to say something, Rajesh?
Yeah, just to add to all the points, I don't want to cut the time. Grooming and body language might be equally important, and I believe it covers 70% of what a pitch could possibly be positive.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that lovely parting note. Kabir, the dreamer, the man of the hour, you're an experienced pitcher. Can we have your parting thoughts, please?
Hi all. It was a wonderful session, Jyotika. I would define it like that. See, you have a girl to impress. You're going with a rose. And you have to get your next 5 minutes, next 1 minute or 2 minutes. And that leads to a coffee table meet or a date. So this is the easy example to tell an elevation pitch. That's your investor, if you can make him see you out from the all other crowd, and you get 2 minutes to speak to him, and after that you can have a coffee with him to have a 30 minutes discussion of your project. Then, as I tell, elevation pitch is a key for that cup of tea with your investor. That's it.
That's your parting thought. So if you want to have that cup of tea, first please work on your elevator pitch. Is that what you're saying, Kabir? That was a joke, all right. That was just a joke. Um, so that brings us to the end of the session. We are right on time. It's time for me to close the session. Again, let me remind you, please go to our events page, leave your comments before we close the events page, before we close the session. Please leave your comments so that we know that we are creating that impact, and that will give us motivation to create more impact as we go along the 98 days of journey that's still left for us to embark on. Thank you very much, and be there. Tomorrow we have another session coming. Our flyers will be out very soon. Again, it's at 10 a.m. Dubai time, 11:30 p.m. Indian time. And please note your respective conversions of time, and please be there for another session, another time, another beautiful experience together as entrepreneurs. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Jyotika. As I always tell, dream big, aim high, start small. So we are going to close the session today. So everyone can go and like click on the attend button for the meeting tomorrow. With the turn of three, we are going to end the meeting. 3, 2, 1. Bye bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye. Bye.